Let me pass it over to Amy Young to talk about our Empowered program.
Hi, everyone. Some of you may know me. I also work on the patient registry. So I email a lot and probably bug you if you haven't completed your surveys. So thank you for those who reply and ask questions, because it's so important that we get as many surveys completed as possible. So that's a little plug about the survey. So Amy Wrightson is not here. I have offered to share her slides. Empowered is it's near and dear to my heart. So a couple years ago, 2018 was our first catwalk. My husband Kevin and I hosted one, and we were blown away by the amount of money that our family and friends donated to our cause. And Kevin and I were having some conversations afterward just about what could we do with all this amazing money that we fundraise, and how can we give back to our foundation and our community. And a couple months later, we brought up at a board meeting, wouldn't it be amazing if, well, backtrack a little, we spend as a family, and I'm sure the rest of you do as well, a lot of money on a lot of things for a Jack, right? Whether it be therapy or equipment, and it can be stressful. And we were saying how, how can we help those who maybe can't do those types of things? And so we brought it up, and Amy Wrightson, as amazing as she is, decided to act upon our idea, and she carried it out beautifully, and she created this Empowered grant. You can read here what it is. So we provide, or the grant provides funding for purchases of either assistive equipment, technology, or even therapies. Therapies is a newer addition to this grant. And as you can see, what all of these things do for some individuals out there, help make them part of society, care for themselves, reach educational goals, and the list goes on and on. Our grant reward can be up to $600. If you're unfamiliar with what assistive equipment could be, these are just some examples out there. I know every child in our community is very different, and their skills are different. So, your equipment may look very different from another child out there. There also are endless therapies that children participate in. A lot of these in our communities are not covered by insurance, unfortunately, and so they can be very expensive. And so we will provide reimbursement for some of these private therapies. Also, sometimes you hear about therapy out there. Like, I remember years ago, Amy actually had told me about hippotherapy, and I never heard of it before. And so once I heard of it, I was like, I need to research this, and we need to get Jack into it. So it's something that I then, pursued, and this could be something that you could pursue as well if it's something that's of interest to you, and we would help supply some funds towards that. So since 2020, we have funded over 50 grants, as you can see from the pie chart here, all over the world. 22 grants were awarded to individuals diagnosed with KAT6A or KAT6B. And the KAT6, I'm sorry, that was just in, I don't know, okay, moving on. I didn't create these slides. So we continue to evaluate others in our area within our community, and we hope to expand our granting capacities in the future. I'm sure this is being sent out, but here is the area where the website where you can download an application. Also an email there for if you have any questions. And I just want to say that all the fundraising, and I know Karen's going to talk about that, and Jordan just spoke about it as well, but any type of fundraising we can do as a community, whether it be the catwalk or anything, all that money goes towards a lot of things with our foundation, but this is just one of them. And being able to give back to our community it means a lot to us as a foundation, to help our kids grow and learn and prosper. We do have someone here, her name is Marjorie. She's been walking around in a white jacket. She's collecting email addresses, phone numbers, home addresses. She's just someone, she's also a part of our community here, KAT6, and if you give her that information, it's just more ways in which we can then reach you to talk about different ways in which you can help, and also just get you information of what we're doing. The catwalk is coming up in September, and maybe you want to learn a little bit more about it, and that could be a way. So I think that's it. Does anyone have any questions? Okay.
I just one quick thing.
Yes, Kevin.
So I just wanted to point out one thing with the Empower Grant and how important it is. It's direct family organization on mission statement, which the new one I think is coming out very shortly. But it serves two very critical functions. The first is that obviously we're supporting families with needs of therapy, of equipment, etc. The second thing is, and frankly, a big part of my motivation in thinking about this was, if you're giving money to an organization, to a cause. I remember giving a speech at our walk, and I'm trying to tell people about, the fish research that we're doing, and I've got a degree in biology. I have no clue what any of this is. I know in the long run it's really, really important, but people giving money like to see that instant kind of dopamine hit from, hey, I gave money to this foundation, and this child now gets more therapy, or gets an iPad, or gets a standard of water. So selfishly, it's really great to be able to show somebody sort of that instant gratification of, I gave money, this is happening right now, as much and as wonderful as it is for the long term and the thing that our researchers are working on. It's nice to have kind of a twofold experience. That's it.
And sorry, one thing you can do to help is communicate this to any other KAT6 families you know who may not be aware of it. Our situation currently is that we are not getting overwhelmed with applications. Obviously, we are getting a number, which we're very happy with, but we think we could accommodate even more, right? So please help share the word, and don't be afraid yourself even to put in an application for something, right? We want to support as many families as possible.
And it can be a small, I think some feedback we've gotten is that they're some families are like, oh, we don't know if that would be something we should apply for the Empower Grant for. It doesn't matter, just ask. We have the application, we'll answer your questions, or Amy and her team will answer the questions. I think we're very fair, so just don't hesitate to apply because you think it may not be something. Just ask the question or just apply, and we'll communicate that with you. Okay, so Karen. Oh, sorry. So it's a when you download, it's just am I allowed to click on it? I don't know. Maybe we can show you. Let's see. Knowing Amy, she did all of this perfectly. So it's here's just more information. Oh yes, we can download an application. I think it's pretty seamless. You fill it out. It looks like this. So you would fill out the name, whether it's KAT6A or KAT6B, who's completing the application, and then down here, section 2 is that's where you would specify exactly what you're looking for, and then we do have this box at the bottom that with the grant and with the funds that we have, they are not unlimited, that we would not want to, it would have to be something that medical insurance doesn't also cover, obviously. A lot of these private therapies, insurance doesn't cover, but sometimes they will. And this is your information here. Name of doctor, who diagnosed. And then one thing, I remember there was I remember the first year we did this when we were reviewing applications, just, make sure to put, how to reach you and the best way to communicate with you back. Because I know if we have questions or the team that reviews the applications has questions, we want to make sure that we can directly contact you. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Good. So yeah, and here is the name of the it's very self-explanatory to fill out. So that's the application process, and then I believe it tells you at the bottom where to send it. Yep, each completed application, you can send it right here to the, to the email address there. And then I believe Karen, if you can recall, or the turnaround rate, I feel like there's a window of acceptance of the applications, and then it's a pretty quick turnaround rate from what I recall in the past when I reviewed. You'll get your answer and like a yes, and then and sometimes the community or sometimes in the past, the families have paid upfront and are seeking reimbursement. I believe that's how we're doing it from now on. So. Thank you. Oh, and this is just one testimonial that Amy put on here that was a pretty great quote.